They hate when you elevate. They stacking up losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly.
Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to another episode of Express Yourself with XPress. I am your humble host, XPress, and thank you again for tuning in as always. You know, without you, there is no me. But also want to thank my proud sponsors, Shoe Pugs, King Vision, Self Love. Also got, there's that Free Few, can't forget you, Till Inglewood. Definitely, you know, and plenty more to go. Love, appreciate everything you guys done and continue to do. And you guys know how I start off every episode. Expression of the week. Expression this week will be determination. Period. You have to be determined to work towards something like you need it tomorrow, but okay if it doesn't come for 10 years. And that's also leading into the reason why I have this amazing guest on the show, because the determination to get to where he was prior to this show to where he is now has been remarkable. The story is incredible. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's welcome in Mr. Ed Mowery.
What's happening, all?
No,
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
I'm excited, but then I just got nervous because a lot of things that I was reading and going through, because I do extensive background research on every individual that sits here, has been incredible. Like your story of what you had to overcome and the determination that you persevered with to be sitting here today.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's start off with letting people know where you're originally from and your family upbringing.
I was actually born in Indiana. 2 weeks later, we moved to West Point. My dad was in the Army, colonel in the Army. So we moved all my whole childhood. And my parents didn't know it, but they pretty much set me up to be able to tour later in life. And yeah, so that's they didn't know they were doing it, but they got me going. But ended up in New Mexico, Los Alamos, New Mexico, where Oppenheimer built the town to build the bomb. My fiance is from there as well. She was born there. And then I've moved all over the place for music too, looking for the right guys to play with, chasing the dream. And I mean, I've been from Seattle to Tampa, to Pittsburgh, back to New Mexico, back to Pittsburgh. I mean, all over the place. And back in '92, I joined a band called Nocturnus.
Yes.
And toured Europe, and ended up doing a video that was on Headbangers Ball on MTV. That's how long I've been around.
He's been around for some time. I say it's fine wine. There's a lot of rich history in this.
Absolutely.
But being a part of a band, but also then creating and curating your own, Tawanaku.
Yeah.
Talk about how difficult it is to gather a bunch of different personalities and make it work and fit.
Oh, it's like looking for a whole new family. Your band members, you're going to live with them. You've got to get along with them, and if you don't get along, it turns into a complete nightmare. So luckily, when I moved to Pittsburgh, I met everybody that's in the band right now. We get along great. We're all Steelers fans. We're all Penguins
That's
fans.
That's the easiest thing to do. I like Sidney Crosby. But we're going to leave it there. We're going to leave it there.
Absolutely. It's a bummer he didn't get to play in the Olympics, but...
They should have boycotted that.
Yeah.
They should.
Sydney not in the Olympics just doesn't add up, man.
It does not, but hey, that's telling you how much history of the sport I have, too.
Yeah. And I grew up on football and then got into hockey, and then got into the fighting. And I loved the UFC, and I went to Vegas and saw the two prides that came over from Japan. I watched Dan Henderson knock out Vanderlei Silva live.
I seen that fight, not live, but I seen that fight, and for me, hands down, one of the greatest shows. If you want to show someone the sport at its rawest, purest form, that's one of the fights that you have to show people.
Absolutely. And they would have the David versus Goliath matches, and it wasn't all weight classes,
everything was just whoever felt like fighting each other at that time.
Yeah, I mean, you got Bigfoot Silva against Nakamura.
Pretty much. Night and day.
Yeah.
Night and day.
Bigfoot Silva, I mean, it was huge. I love watching it. I probably would have gotten into it had it gotten popular when I was younger. I was a big soccer player, and I used to climb mountains and cliffs, and of course I did a lot of falling. And
very adventurous, but with that comes dangers, battle wounds and scars.
Absolutely, and it's pretty much my whole childhood set me up for when I actually went down with with all my injuries and, all the different surgeries I've had. And I actually broke my neck.
Yes.
Went over the handlebars of a mountain bike, broke my neck, got up and walked away. And 12 years later, went to the doctor because my neck was hurting. And he's like, your neck's half broken.
Mm.
I'm looking at him like, what? Shouldn't I be dead? And he's like, yeah, you're going into surgery today.
Yeah, as a person who's not too far off, but recently have had, near death experience, it takes a lot for people to understand the mental fortitude that you're going through when you don't know, and then comparison to when you do know of it. It's a shift. And I think a lot of it comes from just an importance of determination to create more time for the things that you should be having time for, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So, with that being said, who were some of the influential individuals in your household at an early age that I would say helped your sound and your love for music?
Judas Priest is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yngwie Malmsteen's another one. Steve Vai, guitar player. The one huge influence on me as a kid was Metallica.
Absolutely.
When I first heard Metallica, I was hooked.
Poetry
and
in
everybody
Motion.
around me said, "Oh, that sucks. It's terrible." And that was what everybody said when they first came out. And I was like, "You guys are crazy. This is going to be the biggest band in the world." And like, and I'm like, "Well, I get phone calls every once in a while. You were right."
Yeah, your sound of music was ahead of its time.
Yeah, absolutely,
sure.
absolutely. And, yeah, it's I love Slayer, Megadeth, and then of course I started in on the death metal bands with Carcass, and black metal bands, Dimmu Borgir and Emperor. I love all kinds of music. It's just metal just seemed to resonate with me way early on. What really resonated with me was watching a friend play electric guitar for the first time. I was hooked. I was hooked. Then I went to my very first concert, and like, that's what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life, and that's what I'm doing. So.
And how supportive was your family in the whole journey?
They were sort of supportive as like hobby level.
Okay.
But they never thought, oh, he's going to go out and tour and make records and start a label and all this different stuff. My dad was pushing me to go into the Army at 17 and a half years old. He took me down there, and I wouldn't go in.
I understand, like we were talking before.
Yeah.
My grandfather, military. So from the age of 13, even though he's showing me Michael Jordan from as a young, and basketball was my thing, and boxing as well, but basketball was my thing based on, my grandfather being a heavy influence in my life, and my dad also, my uncle. So for him at 13 to be like, hey, you should probably think about the service. That like shifted and warped my mind, because I didn't even start high school yet.
Yeah.
And then each year in high school, hey, what are you thinking about doing? Hey, what are you thinking about doing? I'm thinking about just still being a kid.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, like these are times where you take the moments in life to really set the foundation. And my freshman year of high school, I'll never forget, shout out my Uncle Eric, one of the most amazing people, not just because he's my uncle, but one of the most amazing people I've ever met in my life. Will give you any and everything without question. But then after he gives it to you, he has some questions.
Yeah.
But his foundation builder for me, freshman year of high school, is either plan ahead or plan on failing. So, that stuck with me even still to this day, to where that's why we're sitting here today.
Yeah.
It's everything is make sure that I'm structured, make sure that I am planning ahead, so there is no failure.
Yeah.
So who were the people in your life that were pushing you to make sure you didn't fail?
My mom and dad mostly, but once I got out and started doing music, it was me. I mean, it was mainly me, because I was the only one that wanted me to do music. So I had to push myself through a lot of different things to make things happen, and then you'll learn as you go how things really are as compared to what they look like on TV or whatever. And it's some of it's eye opening, some of it's like, that's really the way it works. But yeah,
a lot of people don't realize that there is music that you have to learn to read.
Yeah.
There's, there's a lot of it that just goes into it other than just playing. Can you talk about the importance of the foundation and structure of music?
Yeah, when I first started playing guitar, how I learned was by ear. Is my parents didn't want to get lessons for me, and because they didn't want me to pursue it. So
Mm.
I learned by ear.
Hmm.
And I didn't actually start reading until about 5, 10 years ago.
Okay.
And I've been playing for 40 years. So
Mm.
yeah,
So just natural raw talent for it, just like you
yeah.
had the natural raw talent
Yeah,
with
and
music.
friends would show me riffs and stuff like that, and
Hmm.
but that's how I would pick up things, and then I ruined a lot of tape players back in the day, rewinding and hitting play.
Just rolling it back.
When I first joined Nocturnus, I had 2 tape players, and I had both albums on, and learning all the songs,
Hmm.
constantly working on it before practice, and we practiced 5 nights a week, and my whole day was spent working on those songs. So when I showed up to practice, they weren't like, man.
No, you came prepared.
Yeah,
You were determined.
yeah, absolutely.
And with that being said, talk about the difference in being an artist and being a CEO of a label. Particle Collider Records.
Yeah.
What are the differences between, but the similarities as well?
The similarities is it's all about music.
Hmm.
It's always all about music, no matter what you're working on. You're ordering records, you're getting music from a band. You're mastering stuff. I master and do recordings too,
Hmm.
and I'm remastering a band that I just got signed about 3 weeks ago.
Mm.
Remastering one of their old albums, and then they're going to put in another one. And we just did a 2 album deal. They're called Hate SA.
Okay.
They're from Bolivia, from La Paz, Bolivia, where we
That
went
is
down and toured.
amazing.
The guitar player was actually our sound guy in La Paz, Bolivia. So that was really really cool. And then I started listening to them. I'm like, man, these guys are like a Spanish Pantera,
Mm.
really really heavy and
Mm.
catchy. And when they play in Bolivia, they play to thousands of people. And I'm
Hmm.
like, man, this is this. And I found out too, they're the largest selling Bolivian metal band ever.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that says a lot.
and
Says a lot.
man, you guys really need to be, people need to hear you.
Showcased
Yeah,
and presented more.
absolutely.
Hmm.
So we're gonna put out that existing record, reissue that on vinyl and CD, and then digitally. And I'm actually opening an office in the UK and opening an office in Bolivia.
Mm.
So got both those continents covered, so we can press records there instead of pressing them here and shipping them and all that.
Hmm.
But yeah, getting ready to start work with the 2 reps, from one from Huddersfield, UK, and the other one from La Paz, Bolivia. But yeah, the difference between being an artist and a CEO is you have to put the art down a
Hmm.
lot, because you have to do all the legwork. But I'm finding out that a lot of the legwork I'm doing is going to be done, and I'll be able to start concentrating more on making music. And because I'm going to reissue the Tiwanaku first Tiwanaku album too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because we just got our rights back at the beginning of this year.
Of 2026.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
We just got our rights
Yeah,
back,
I did
so
some
yeah,
homework.
gonna reissue that thing, and we're actually bringing back from our very first demo. So we started it in 2003, 2004,
Hmm.
and we had Richard Christie from the band Death and Control Denied, and Eister on drums, and then we
Mm.
had Rick Renstrom on guitar, playing lead guitar, and I played all the other instruments and did the death metal vocals, and then Wade Black did the like Halford style, Judas Priest style vocals, and we're going to be bringing him back. Wade's coming back and we're reissuing our first record, Earth Base One, the way it is, and then we're going to have him come in and sing over it too, and then we're going to reissue it
Mm.
again and double dip it. And then we're also working on a brand new record, and hopefully by maybe the beginning of 2027 we can get that put out and
It
promoted.
should. It absolutely should.
Hmm.
And you spoke of something that's really important. Outside of my solo show, Express Yourself with XPress, I also co-host on a show called Socially Acceptable, the show that humanizes influence the LA way, with Miss Corey Renee, who also works for K-Day. Um, Vocalists and people that use their voice. Can you talk about the importance, and this is something that we've been talking to her about, the importance of resting and keeping yourself well equipped with your voice,
Hmm.
because you overuse it, you lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it comes to the voice.
Hmm.
Talk about the importance of that.
Well, I use an in-ear monitor, so
Hmm.
because if I can't hear myself, halfway through the show, you won't hear me at all anymore because I'll completely lose my voice.
Mm-hmm.
But I use an in-ear monitor for that, and it works amazingly. I can keep my voice the whole tour. In between shows, I cut down on as much talking as I possibly need to, business only. And yeah, you have to rest in between shows. It's just, we're all human, you know, and just it's like a recovery process, just like when you injure yourself, you know. And every night, you know, it's you come off the stage, and sometimes you're a little hoarse, sometimes you're not, but yeah, then. Like I said, I just stopped talking. I'll write things down for people.
I remember I lost my voice. Shout out to the LA Fitness in Chino Hills that I used to work for many moons ago. But I remember I lost my voice completely, and I got a dry erase board, and I like made a little chain of it. So people would come in. I worked at the front desk, so I couldn't talk. So I'll just write on the dry erase board, answer them like that. They say something, I erase it, then write my answer. That was just a whole about almost 2 weeks of that.
Oh wow!
Almost 2 weeks of it. But yeah, with her, she's constantly on air, constantly doing interviews and everything. She does a little bit of partying, but
Yeah. Don't we all?
Yeah, definitely. But she's definitely been killing it business wise, and I know she's been overly exhorting her voice. So just wanted to hear some of the importance and reasons on why it is to rest your voice. I mean, I use mine a lot, but
Yeah.
I do a lot of listening.
Yeah.
I do a lot of listening. So talk about listening. Is there any people or bands today that influence the sound that you present today? And who do you listen to?
Well, definitely Metallica is one of them. I mean, my right hand on the guitar is. I mean, I learned all that from James Hetfield. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other bands too. You know, Carcass and Slayer and stuff like that. But yeah, the main influence is we've got keyboards full time, and we've got 2 vocals now, and we're trying to stick ourselves out of the crowd with that.
Okay.
And and yes, it's like having Rob Halford from Judas Priest and Glenn Benton from Deicide in one band.
Oh, okay. You guys are doing something for sure.
Yeah, we're definitely, and we want to make it atmospheric, sort of soundtrackish. So what you're listening to and what the song's about, it actually sounds like it should be about that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one thing that I learned when I was a nocturnist is to soundtrack your lyrics and try your best to make things sound like what you're singing about.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask, because every genre has a different base of where their music is curated from and stuff. Some of it is personal life experiences. Some of it is secondhand, seeing someone else, like living through someone else vicariously. When it comes to rock, what would you say is the heartbeat of where your music comes from?
True stories. True stories and my dreams. I'll wake up from dreams, and I got a paper and pen next to the bed because I'll wake up from a dream, and if I don't write it down, it's gone in 3 minutes.
Isn't it always?
Yeah, but yeah, several songs. True stories. The first song on Earth Base One is called "Visitor from Titan." That's actually a true story of me. I just filled in for a gig in Albuquerque, and we were driving back up to the northern mountains where I was living at the time, and we just passed Pueblo land, and we were almost to Jemez Springs, New Mexico, and we were on this big bend, and there's this light in the street. And looking at it, and I'm like, how come that's in the street? What's up with that? And I'm getting closer and closer, and then it starts going,
expanding,
getting bigger, and we're driving up, and I'm finally about to hit the brakes, and then all of a sudden, lightning bolts shot out from under it, and it flew up the mountain. And I was with a friend of mine. He was passed away now. Shout out to Michael Estes. But yeah, I said, dude, did you see that? I didn't hear anything. And I asked him again, and then I finally looked over, and he was like this.
Stuck in disbelief.
100% stuck in disbelief. And then the week after that happened, there's a newspaper up there, and sure enough, in the newspaper, UFO sightings on Virgin Mesa the night we saw that. I think it was a lightning being or a light being. That was probably my closest encounter. I've seen a lot of things in the skies and a lot of paranormal things that I write songs about too. And yeah, that one was the close encounter. I mean, it was right in front of the truck. And
if they wasn't into abducting people, I'd say this is a place I need to go and visit.
Yeah.
And explore and encounter. But people still get abducted.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not trying to be one of them people.
Yeah, me neither.
For sure.
That we know of, right?
Right. Because hey, there might be them amongst us.
Yeah.
So they're saying, you know.
I believe that full 100%. They're here. They've been here all along.
It has to. And it's funny because I don't want to tap into that too much, even though I can. And I love to. There's one thing that never made sense to me. If it's a being that we've never came in contact with, then why is the adaptation of it and what they draw and what they put in films all the same?
Yeah, why is
But we've
everything a
never-
quadruped? Why is it, you know, that's why when I saw this being of light, I'm like, now this makes sense. You know, and I get home and I'm still just blown away by it. And I start writing it all down because I was like, this has got to be a song. And I ended up watching one of those science channels, and they're talking about the moon Titan. Saturn's moon Titan. If there were beings there, they would be made of electricity and light. And that's where I put 2 and 2 together and said, that was somebody from Titan.
Yeah, because if we're able to explore, even if it's the take pictures at the rate and the knowledge and the science that we have, ain't no telling of what possesses even more times 10 that has been here numerous times, came and gone, or is still here.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you've got, and here's the thing that's always blown me away. The human eye can only see 0.0035% of the light spectrum. So how easy would it be to hide right in front of us?
Right in front of us.
You know, we don't even see 1%.
Be so translucent, we can't even see it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, you know, or just on a completely another plane that we don't see, or you know, there's plenty of that, and that's why I believe it. You know, people see these glimpses of ghosts. I think they're seeing a glimpse into another dimension. Kind of, you know.
We're gonna have to do another episode.
Yeah.
All about that.
Yeah,
because
absolutely,
man,
I could talk about it all day.
I have experiences.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely can chime in on that. There's plenty of other things that we definitely have to discuss, but I also come with an amazing segment called Blast from the Past, where I take images from your past and have you, you know, speak on them and see what they mean to you, and let us know what they're all about.
All right.
Boom.
All right, that's actually me with the guys from Pittsburgh. This is Ryan O'Neill, Liam Herka, and Sean Valentine. And yeah, we did this. There's a barn near Liam's house, and that's where we took that picture, in the hills of Pennsylvania.
Yeah. So talk about like the difference in personalities, but the similarities and how this all comes together and works so properly.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, me, I'm the guy with the 100% open mind, and I pretty much write all the lyrics and concepts. But now that we have our old singer coming back, and Sean Valentine's also a vocalist, so we're all going to start writing lyrics. We're all going to start writing the music instead of it just being all from one perspective. And I think that's how a lot of the magic really happens with the band, is when you mix the ideas and then.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, and Ryan O'Neill is our keyboard player. We're both right around the same age, and the other 2 guys are a little bit younger than we are. But Liam Herka is our drummer, and on the album it was his brother Ryan Herka. And I met both of them when they were about this tall. Okay. And their dad, Keith Herka, was playing drums for Tiwanaku at the time. And I would go to their house and hang out with all of them. And then they came of age, and we needed some really fast drums, and they've got it. I mean,
it was in the system.
Yeah,
already.
Absolutely.
Already.
But then they actually brought Sean Valentine in. They actually made the phone calls. That's we need somebody to play leads on the record. And that he was the first person they called, and he was like, "Fuck yeah, let's do it." I'm in. And you know, me and Sean work really well together on guitar. He picks up my riffs, I pick up his. It's just like instant. And Ryan O'Neill, he's like I said, keyboard player. He comes in, he calls it the music's lipstick.
Just a nice layer on top.
Yeah, the icing on the cake.
The icing on the cake.
Yeah, and yeah, we all work really, really good together. I mean, in the studio especially, and we're just putting a song together right now with the return of our old singer Wade, and we're doing it remotely. I put all the tracks to a click track and send it to everybody, and they're sending everything back now.
Is it harder to develop music that way, or is it better when it's everyone in the studio, all the ideas coming together at that drop of a dime?
I
instead
think
of like the
I think
waiting game?
both can work pretty good. In between the studio, if you got somebody brainstorming on ideas and sending them out to everybody to work on, and that way when everybody's getting together in the studio, they're already up on the riffs, and all we got to do is sit there and arrange things. But I've pretty much been the main songwriter, but like I said, now they're all starting to want to be a part of that too, which is great. It's amazing. Is being the only guy that writes, it can get tough.
Yeah, it definitely can be overwhelming. Do you ever feel like you run out of ideas, or
Man, I've got so many ideas. I don't
There
think
we
I'll
go.
ever run out of them. I have on my computer through Pro Tools a session called Riff Bank, and it's just riffs. Every time I come up with a riff, I'll go in there, hit record, and put the riff
then
down.
you just have so much to just add to.
Yeah, add to it, or go back and relearn it. And I've been making that riff banks for about 12 years, so
Damn.
I got a lot of riffs.
That's a lot of
And
ideas.
Sean also has a ton of riffs, and that's pretty much where we start. We start with the guitar riff and then build from there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Build from in and out.
yeah,
That's basically what it is.
yeah.
And I got plenty to talk about, but there was something that you spoke on that was rather important. Let's see if this is gonna be it. Boom.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that is my neck.
Let's talk about the determination that you've had to have in you to be able to persevere over this moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the importance of people making sure they take care of themselves.
Oh man, the importance of taking care of yourself, especially if you're a vocalist, you've got to take care of yourself. Like I said, when I was younger, I was really rambunctious, and I loved adrenaline. I had nothing. I wanted to do nothing but adrenaline junkie stuff, and eventually, I got hurt so much that I had to stop. But yeah, I've had C3 to T1 all fused, every disc replaced in my neck. Went around for 12 years with half broken neck. Then I have L4 to S1, same surgery. I've had my knee replaced and revised. And the big one is in 2021, 2022, I went in, I found out I have a thing called chronic regional pain syndrome, CRPS. And I just went into Google and put medical trial CRPS, and the first thing that popped up was this trial at UCSF in San Francisco. And I looked at it and I'm like, this is right up my alley. This is exactly. And then I didn't know exactly what it was at first, so I just went ahead and applied and found out. And they called me in 40 minutes. When can you be here?
When can you be here?
Yeah,
That's how severe and serious it is.
Yeah, it was super, super serious. And I mean, CRPS pain, if you go and look online at the McGill pain scale, it's above everything. It's at the tippy top of the McGill pain scale. I mean, amputations below it, childbirth is below it, cancer pain is below it, and it's all brain manufactured pain. So what happened to me was they fixed me orthopedically in all these places, and when they fixed me, you're supposed to be out of pain.
Right.
My brain said,
No,
we're going to replace
feeling
all that
everything.
for you. Yeah, we're going to fill in all the pain. So I've got it from the neck down. And I went to the hospital at UCSF and found out it was 3 brain surgeries. And I'm like, I'm out of here. There ain't no way I'm doing that. And then about a year and a half later, I was in so much pain I couldn't walk anymore. I was in a chair, using a chair, a walker, crutches, all that. Basically, I would wake up in the morning and decide if I was going to even get out of bed that day, and would move to the TV and just sit there in pain all day long, and try my best to get up and move around and do things, and it just works against you like you wouldn't believe. And the worst pain I've ever been in my life was brain manufactured pain with no stimulus, no cut, no broken bone, no nothing. And it just popped up and hit you. And that's why I went ahead and joined this trial. And they put me in the hospital for 10 days. They put 144 temporary points in my head for the first brain surgery. I had 144 wires and a turban around my head, wires sticking out of my head, going to 2 computers while they tested places in my brain with electricity, amperage and voltage. And 2 hours at the end of the whole testing, 2 hours before we were done, I'm like, shit, this ain't gonna work. And then all of a sudden, boom, all the pain goes away. And I said, what did you guys do? He says, what do you mean, what did we do? And I said, I know you're testing me and you're blind testing me too, but all my pain just went away, all of it. And that was the first time I'd been out of pain in probably 20 years. And it was like taking some really,
that's
really
major
strong
weight.
mushrooms.
Yeah, that's like major weight off of you. Like,
Yeah. They actually have me on video. We've actually been to Congress to talk to Congress about this to get it FDA approved. I was patient number 5 and they have 8 now.
Okay.
And they just got approved for 16 more patients through the National Institute of Health. National Institute of Health flew me to Congress to speak in front of Congress, and it really helped them open their eyes, and it showed that they're figuring out how to get people off opiates, and that was my main reason for going into the trial, was to get off the opiates. I'm off.
Hey, and wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a miracle, man.
Because a lot of people
it's a miracle
don't
that I'm sitting here.
understand. Yeah, a lot, and because I did it, like I said, I did a lot. I saw when you were able to show them what it was like playing prior to and then playing after. Like I said, I do a lot of research, so that for me was the game changer, when you can show people what you've been through, and like you can show them the light at the end of the tunnel. So determination. Like
perseverance and determination. My picture should be next to those words in the dictionary, man. And you know what drove me the whole time was getting back to stage, because I love being on the stage. I love playing concerts, and I knew all along, that it was just a matter of time before the band gonna get it signed, before we were gonna start putting music out for the world to hear it, and try to get out there and tour. And at the time, there was no way I'd be able to tour. But after getting the deep brain stimulators, I've been to Bolivia. Looks like we're going to go back at either the end of the year or in 2027. And then we're playing Tampa Death Fest September 5th. And we're opening for Nasty Savage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're bringing back, like I said, we're bringing Wade Black back. And so we can have 2 spectrums of vocals going on at once, showcasing and mixing them together. And you wouldn't believe those high-pitched vocals with those low growls. It really works.
It's a ramping type of thing. You can feel it from within for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, your story and your presence and your energy has just been a tremendous gift to me, man.
Awesome, thank you.
Can't thank you enough. We still got more images to go on, but before then, I got to thank you with some proud sponsors.
All right, awesome, man. Thank you.
My sponsor, Shoe Pugs. Man, like, I'm a gift giver, and you've definitely been a gift this entire time, man. And I'm just glad to know that no matter what it is that you go through in life, mentally or phically, you can still persevere.
Yeah,
if you have the right determination. Absolutely.
And like I said, I was in a wheelchair at one point, and once you get to that point, it's a lot of people give up. I wasn't giving up. There was just no way, and it shows through on everything I do now. I mean, that's all I do is music now. It's between the label and the band, and I was actually going to start another band too, but I decided to stick with one band.
I mean, just stick with one.
Yeah,
one and done.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this one. Let's talk about the importance of being one.
Yeah.
With your fans.
Absolutely.
I love this. I love when who you're going to see or who you admire and stuff is just able to be touched and reached, and there's a human side to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's not too much of the celebrity status and stuff, because without one, the other doesn't exist.
Yeah. Exactly.
So talk about the importance of having these moments with your fans.
Absolutely, man. This was actually our first show together with this lineup. And it was in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I did some homework on this one too.
And we had a blast, man. The people, they loved us, and made sure we were taking pictures afterwards and things with the crowd. And it was amazing. And we actually went back and played Millvale Music Festival in 2025, and it was more packed than this was. And the whole room was slap full. I mean, it was full, and people were moving. It was awesome. And that's Pittsburgh for you, man. They love their metal there. They don't call it the Steel City for nothing.
Oh, at all. So even when you're just walking around the city of Pittsburgh, you get approached. How is your response to people when they do approach you?
Oh, I'm as humble as possible. be the rock star on stage, be as humble as possible off stage. That's pretty much the way I roll. It's like, you're on stage to be that. You know what I mean? But you're off stage. You've got to talk to people, and
1,000%.
yeah. I mean, if you're a dick, that's what's gonna get around.
And for this being the first show of you guys basically coming together, what did you initially think right after when it was all said and done?
I was like, damn, we gotta do this again as soon as possible.
This is it. Yeah, this is it. Let's keep the juices flowing.
Yeah, absolutely, and this was a blast. I mean, we had an amazing time. Preserving the Underground is the name of the place. They have a downstairs and an upstairs, and then they have a record shop there too.
Oh, that's dope.
And you can find our vinyl in their
That's
record shop.
Talking about.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man! Keep that history going too.
Absolutely.
And boom.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
This is the cover to Earth Base 1.
Let's talk about the inspiration of it. Let's talk about just everything down to the T.
Yeah, this is the basically Viracocha standing in front of the sun gate at Tiwanaku. And the sun gate is activated, and you can see planets in the background, and skulls coming through the gate. I think the artist sort of embellished on a few things, and his name's in there somewhere. I still haven't found it. That's Juanjo Castellano from Spain. He's actually done album covers for a ton of bands, and just Black Dahlia Murder, I think, was one of them. But yeah, when I first sent this idea to him, I said, just want Viracocha standing in front of the gate, and make sure he's brown because he's got to be Spanish. He's got to be Bolivian. And the one cool thing about this too is you can see these designs on both sides of Viracocha that are both on my arms. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
I told you I did some digging. So when you were talking about that before, I was like, oh, he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know.
But yeah, he first sent us this, and it was just a quick pencil sketch, and the guys were like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm like, come on, man. This is just a sketch. Be open-minded. Let it come. Then when it came through, they were all, whoa. And what I really like about it is in the crowd of metal albums, these colors you won't find on metal albums. Orange and pink and red and the black, of course, you'll find in the white. But a lot of metal albums aren't colorful. And when he first sent this, I was just like, man, this is gonna stick out of the crowd.
1,000% is very unique.
Yeah,
it definitely stands out, and it's a lot of details in it.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Yeah, I love it. And talking about having to do the next one too. And I don't even know where we're going to start with that one. I've got so many different ideas.
Well, I'm sure he'll be able to create another masterpiece out of it.
Yeah, he's amazing. And just the way, I mean, we didn't have to change anything. This is the first version.
That says a lot.
Yeah. And usually I'll get something like the logo. I got the logo and it looked like a Christmas ornament at first. And I was like, dude, erase this, and pull these out and make it. I wanted it to look like a Klingon bat'leth. Okay. Their sword, I guess you could call it.
Yes.
So he did a pretty good job. And that's the Lord of the Logos, Christoph Spagel, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. He ended up doing that. And he did Emperor's logo back in the day, and he's done a ton. He's put out a book of logos now that he's done. I love it. That's why I got a tattoo.
I was going to ask you too, how important is it to be hands-on when it comes to your ideas and the logos and cover art?
Absolutely important, because I mean, a lot of the things are come up with in my head, and to portray that to somebody and then them do something like this. It was, I mean, it's like a dream come true, just you think of something in your head and then all of a sudden, poof, someone makes it real. And it's I love it.
I definitely understand the feeling. I'll never forget. I was a manager of a gas station, and I was transferring over from another podcast that I had. I try not to shed no light on that, but I've come so far to where it doesn't even make any difference, doesn't make or break me at all. But I had my very first podcast title was called Compadres.
Oh, okay.
I put the emphasis on the pod part. But dope cover art and everything, and transitioning over from doing the group thing that I was working with at that time to being solo. I'll never forget being at work and just writing. It just popped in my head like express yourself, and I was like, express yourself with SB Press.
Hmm.
And getting together with at that time Mastermind Media, who I went through and who I was working with the first iterations of doing episodes and everything for Express Yourself. They were the ones who came together and made the logo for me.
Hmm.
You know, thank you, Mark Rodriguez, and the entire team over at Mastermind Media. I am still overly grateful for any and everything you guys done and continue to do. And yeah, that when you come together with someone who can take your ideas and make it even bigger than what you thought,
Hmm.
yeah, you just
Absolutely.
run with it.
Yeah.
Just
and
run with it.
just puts a big smile on your face when it all comes out. And it's like, this wasn't even what I thought at first, but the way they embellished it, it's just, my idea was put Viracocha in front of the sun gate and make the sun gate activated with planets in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he came up with.
Yeah, great creation.
Yeah.
Me, it was just like if any and everybody knew me, they would automatically assume, oh, his logo is gonna have some. It's gonna have red in it.
Yeah.
That's and it's funny I'm not wearing any, but red's my color.
Yeah.
It's always gonna be my color. And when I got a few other like color palettes of it, the one that stuck out to me was the one that it is.
Yeah.
It was just refreshing. It was bright. It was out there, but it was me.
Yeah.
I felt like it was me, and I'm enjoying any and everything that comes with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always big on something that your visual has to pop.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't pop, you gotta do something else.
You got to definitely do something else. And I thought I had one more. Boom.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you've been in the paper, my friend.
Yeah, I've been in the New York Times.
Mm-hmm.
That's my nugget on this on the head of the science section of the New York Times. They actually showed up about a week after Sanjay Gupta showed up to interview me on CNN,
Mm-hmm.
which you could see that on HBO Max. It's called
Yes.
It Doesn't Have to Hurt. His mom is on there. His mom just walking, and her leg broke just from walking. And so he's got her on there first, and then I'm on next, and I think there was another person in there too. But yeah, they came out to New Mexico. They rented a studio to interview me in, and they took me out to the petroglyphs, and we walked around, and they showed me walking, because at one point they know I wasn't, and asked me what the petroglyphs meant to me and everything, and it's just like, man, it goes along with everything else in this world, the pyramids,
Mm-hmm.
Tiwanaku, Göbekli Tepe, Angkor Wat.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different places. Stonehenge. They just found a Stonehenge in Spain after the water receded a little bit, and they're finding a lot of stuff underwater, and that just says it's so much older.
There's so much underneath the water that we are unable to discover due to the pressure.
Yeah.
Just wait for it. Just wait for it.
Mm-hmm. Did you see how they found pyramids off the coast of Cuba?
Yes, I definitely did.
And that's real.
Mm-hmm.
That's 100% real. At first, I thought that's bullshit. First time I hear anything, that's what I do. But because most of the time it is.
Sometimes it can be planted.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be planted to have your mind thinking of one thing when there's a whole optical illusion going on over here.
Mm-hmm.
Gaslighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I thought this was incredible, and it was a moment in time that needed to be shared with the world in order to get other people who were in their moments of suffering,
Yeah.
to heal from it and stop suffering in silence, and stop hiding your hurt so you can heal from it.
Yeah,
and that's what this show
absolutely.
is mainly about.
Yeah, and I was a part of a Facebook group for knee replacements,
Mm-hmm.
and I had my knee replaced, and a week later, my foot that's where CRPS started. My foot's burning. I'm like, what the hell? They just replaced my knee. I shouldn't be in pain anymore. And it took me 8 years to get a diagnosis. I go to the hospital. I'm in pain. I don't know what's going on. Drug seeker. That's the first thing they do to me every time. And I'm like, guys, I have a contract with the pain specialist. And at one point I was on 180 milligrams of morphine a day, 600 milligrams of Lyrica. And now no morphine, and the Lyrica's I'm about 225 to 300 a day. And that's for nerve pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, getting off that morphine was the main thing. The reason why I went ahead with the brain surgery, and yeah,
No, I
That was the
definitely.
main
Oh
reason.
man, I definitely understand. I'll share this with more people. A lot of close people know, but since we are all family here, I had an acute kidney failure at one point in
Oh
time.
wow,
So I was
that's some serious shit
I
right
was in
there.
the hospital for about a week and a half.
Wow.
Almost died and everything. But it was just in my primary doctor's 40 plus years of practice, he says I was an anomaly. And I learned how to say anomaly because of this.
Yeah.
He was like, I've only had one other client that's actually had this, and he was much more older and dealt with a lot of other
Wow.
things, all these other, alcohol and all that stuff. For you to be as healthy as you are, these are things that are going on with something you have no control of. So we need to figure out this stress that's dealing on, because this could be causing a lot of the effects.
Mm-hmm.
And then also had I had a walking pneumonia not that long ago, which caused I had a fever of 109. Then I had my blood pressure was too high, my heart rate was too low, I almost went to cardiac arrest twice.
Wow.
So I say that to people, stop suffering in silence.
Absolutely.
Let people know what's going on with you. And it's not even about being a cry out for help. The last thing you want people to do is be crying out and you're no longer around to help them.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're here to help people stop suffering in silence, so they can actually heal from what they're hiding.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't give up on just because somebody in an emergency room says you're a drug seeker, or they're gonna call you all kinds of stuff, And I mean, I've been called everything in the book, but that whole you've got to convince that one person that you're really in pain and you're really having a problem. And that's where my pain specialist, because CRPS will turn your skin colors, and my right foot was striped black at one point. It was blue, it was purple, it was red and orange. And I went to the doctor. I'm like, "What is this, dude?" He's like, "You've got CRPS." He says, "You having a lot of pain?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm having pain all over." And he says, "Well, it's reflecting down there on your foot." And he says, "I'm going to go ahead and diagnose you with this." And he saved my life by doing that 100%, because it was, they call CRPS the suicide disease. I never once thought of doing that, but I could see if things would have kept going.
The pain is so overwhelming and you can't endure it.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter how many drugs you take, you're still in pain. All you're doing is masking the pain, And now, like I said, the electronics are holding it back. I still get pain jolts here and there. In my feet and sometimes in my back and my neck, but that's nothing compared to 24/7.
Right, a jolt in comparison to continuous. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, all you can think about is the pain you're in, and it takes over your life 100%.
It's a game changer for sure. Like, not being able to do the bare minimum things for yourself.
Yeah.
You definitely don't want to be in a position where you have to even think about asking someone to do certain things for you. And then being reliant and dependent on others, it's a game changer for sure.
Absolutely, it's tough to be reliant on others, especially when they don't understand what you're going through. And I've had people just looking at me like, "You're full of shit, man," and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
I literally went back to work like a day or two early from the doctor fully discharging me and being able to go to work. And I'll never forget, I'm just there still drenching in sweat, like short of breath. And I'm over athletic. So these things are just foreign to see me as and stuff. So people were like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "I got scheduled. I'm just here so I won't get fined." Like beast mode. And, what I was really, really determined to doing is pushing myself beyond the position I was in physically, and not allowing it to keep me in that position.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Absolutely makes sense. As that's exactly what I did. One day I got up and I just got pissed. I'm not letting this run my life anymore, and I put my foot down and made a decision that day. That's when all the perseverance and determination came. It took getting pissed off.
It definitely did for me. My pissed off was like, man, I'm tired of having this situation that no one can diagnose. Then when we finally get it diagnosed of what's going on, it's not getting any better. I'm going to make myself get better. Period. I'm not going to rely on anything that's given to me over the counter. I'm not going to rely on the opinion of someone who's not really taking in what I'm saying to consideration. I'm going to do what my grandmother always told me to do and use her home remedies and let them take care of me, and just, get back to the basics, get back to the physical working out, get back to eating right, get back to sleeping right. Those weren't issues that led me into the problem, but those are issues that can help me away from the problem.
Yeah.
So, just creating more boundaries for things to be better.
Yeah, absolutely. And just, when you make the brain is a very powerful computer. It's the most powerful computer in the world. And once you've set your mind, there's just, it depends on the person, but I would say once someone sets their mind to something, it's going to happen. For me, that's how it is. If I set my mind to it, it's either going to happen or I'm going to go in the grave.
I'm the same way. And this is where I actually show my Leo side, because a lot of people find it hard to believe I'm a Leo, but there's maturity in this Leo because of the loss and the things that I've been through and had to persevere through. Yeah. Some people would have broken, bent a long time ago from the things I'm still standing here for them today. So it's just having a sense of passion within my purpose. So then I'm never questioning, am I in the right place? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
No, I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So let's add more pressure, because pressure only makes diamonds around here. That's all. And because of the man that not only my grandfather, my father, and my uncles have came together and molded me into being, but the man that I have to be for the women, my grandmother, my mom, my sisters, and my niece, they're all, shout out to my mom because it was just her birthday.
That's cool.
But
Happy
they're
birthday,
all
Mama.
I know. She was, oh man, I had to ask who mama is this. She drinking and everything, dancing. It was a good night. It was a good night. I'm sure it got even more good when I left, because I usually don't show up.
Yeah.
I'm usually so busy on working on the reasons to being proud of me that I miss those moments.
Yeah.
So, no, I had to make that moment right with her, and it was good. The food was good. The drinks were even better.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have more and more times like that. But for you, your band, yourself, what are some things that we can be looking forward to in the near future from?
Well, like I said, we're playing Tampa Death Fest in September.
That's right.
We're looking to go back to South America by the end of the year or early 2027. We're going to be putting out a new record by 2027. Lots of great ideas down that we've got cooking right now, as far as the band goes. And with Wage Return, we're looking at doing a whole lot more. We're going to try to get back to Europe next year.
I'm not trying. You're working towards.
Gotta go to Europe next year.
Trying to state of mind, doing a state of action. Everybody who sits on here knows me.
Exactly.
Yeah, we are working towards. We're in the process of.
Yeah, we will be in Europe next year.
There we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Speaking to existence.
Yeah.
When people bring you that birthday cake with the candle and like make a wish, speak that wish out into existence or it won't exist.
Exactly. Exactly. Manifestation.
That's right. And then also, if you were speaking to, this is the positive period of the podcast. So also, if you were speaking to the younger version of yourself, or someone who's out there suffering in silence, who should come forth for whatever that they're hurting from to actually start the healing process, what would that be?
If I could go back, I would have slowed down a little bit, because I didn't expect. I thought I was invincible back then. If maybe change that perspective a little bit, that I'm not invincible. Maybe I wouldn't be suffering as much now, but I'd say someone that needs to come out and speak, join a Facebook group. There's tons of Facebook groups out there, and you can just start talking anonymously, and you can read other people's stories about your condition and what they did to try to to remedy the condition. And I started out with a knee replacement, because knee replacement group, because I thought it was my replacement that was screwing with me, and it wasn't. There's CRPS, but CRPS starts from like a traumatic kind of thing, and it's a complete replacement of your knee. So they saw you out, and I woke up a few days later with CRPS, but yeah, one thing as far as surgeries go, get a second and third opinion before you go into that knife, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I've had some surgeries that I didn't need to have. And I've had 34 altogether. And that's not counting small procedures either. That's 34 major surgeries, yeah.
That's a lot of determination, honestly, because, yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That is really a lot.
Yeah, when you saw that video of me playing guitar, I was playing for a room full of doctors. That was a get-together at UCSF, and they had me out because they were trying to get funding, and they wanted a success story. And when I said 34 surgeries, you should have heard the doctors gasping. And I actually looked out when I was telling my story, and I saw a couple of people wiping their eyes, and I'm like, you guys are doctors. You're not supposed to have any emotion.
Right. but it's very rare for anyone to either hear or just come in contact with someone who's been through so much.
Yeah.
And still be a ray of light like yourself.
Yeah.
So, like, I just want people to really take a lot from this of, again, it doesn't matter whatever it is, you can persevere through it if you have the right determination to.
Absolutely. And the one thing that I did the whole time was thought about going back to the stage, and then every little grasp of positivity that I could find, I went after it, even if it was just in my head. If it was negative, it was already happening to me. So I had to counteract it with just trying to find some sort of positive out of all that negative, and you'll find it. It's there. But yeah, that's the one thing I would say to anybody that they're having a hard time talking to people about it. Just start looking for anything, and I mean as small as you didn't get hurt that day, or you didn't fall that day, or it's just something, just anything you can grasp for that's positive, because that helps a ton.
Oh yeah,
definitely. Just keeping that mindset.
Man, let the listener and viewers who may not know how to get in contact with you, your Instagram handles, and then also how to download your music.
Yeah. Actually, our music was just taken down.
Oh.
And I'm putting it back up.
That's why I asked the question, because I was doing my research
Yeah.
and I could not.
Couldn't find it.
Yeah. That's why.
I just had the old label take it down so I could put it back up under Particle Collider Records.
Okay.
And it's actually in review right now. So Apple Music has it in review, and TuneCore is what I went through.
Okay.
And so it within the next week or two, it'll be back up.
Okay.
And released, and the release date was actually I think today. So yeah, so hopefully they'll have that back up, and you can find it on YouTube. Instagram is at Mr. Tiwanaku or at Tiwanaku World.
Yeah.
Our website is tiwanakuworld.com. You can find us on Facebook, Tiwanaku Metal. I think that's about it.
Okay, yeah, because like I said, I do a lot of intensive research.
Yeah, you look it up and like, where's this at? Where's this album?
Why can I not find this up in my Apple? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna ask them about it on the spot.
Yeah.
Let them know. But no, I can't thank you enough. I'm looking forward to the next time I have you in this chair.
Absolutely.
And expressing another portion of your journey.
Yeah.
And also talking about another amazing show that you just pretty much came back from and everything.
Yeah.
Man, this was what was needed.
Absolutely.
This is helping me in a lot of different ways. Like, I'm over here overly thinking about everything, but I'm overly grateful for everything.
And it changes your perspective when you hear about somebody that's been through all the stuff that I've been through, and it changed my perspective 100%. I mean, I didn't know determination and perseverance before all this happened, and now I mean it's like I said, music's all I do. That's the only thing I'm doing now, and I should have started that a long time ago. I've been a chef. I've been a automation engineer. I went to school for electronics and computers, and also an audio engineer. A lot of self-taught stuff, that's for sure. But yeah, now I'm remastering Hate Essays album, and can't wait to get that put out too. Just
fully in love with music.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing
wrong with it. You guys know who I am. I'm your boy XPress on another great episode of Express Yourself with XPress. Make sure you hit that like and comment down below, Hit the subscribe button too.
Absolutely.
Don't be no losers. Come with the winners.
Yes.
Thank you guys as always, and see you next time.
Thank you for having me, man.
No, thank
Appreciate
you
it.
sincerely.
When you elevate, you're stacking up losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly.